Kerala is set to become the first Indian state to be officially declared free from extreme poverty. And this is going to happen on 1st November of 2025. But the meaning of extreme poverty, it has varying contexts. If you look at the global context, according to the definition of World Bank, any individual who is making less than $3 per day, according to 2021 PPP, is considered to be extremely poor. And according to United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 1, there has been a target set that by 2030, extreme poverty should be ended. And Kerala is supposed to have achieved this feat 5 years in prior. But in Indian context, the Indian government doesn't have any clear-cut criteria for extreme poverty. It only, in fact, considers a new metric which is called as multidimensional poverty, which has been created by NITI Aayog. And it provides various indices. And if any individual falls below 33% in these weighted indices, then he is considered to be multidimensionally poor. But the Kerala government in 2021, it has appointed a committee and a department in order to end extreme poverty and identified nearly somewhere around 64,000 families which are considered to be extremely poor based on multiple indicators ranging from food security, housing to health, livelihood, landlessness, social isolation and education and child welfare. And collectively, all of these things are considered to be part of the multidimensional or extreme poverty. Now, the Kerala government is of the opinion that because of its effort over the past 4 years, it was able to end extreme poverty. And that is the reason why it has declared that November 1st, 2025 is going to be the date on which extreme poverty will end in Kerala. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has made a unique proposal in order to get all AI-generated content on social media platform labeled. Because AI-generated content is creating a lot of problems on social media. Particularly, it is promoting misinformation and deepfakes. And many individuals are considering the AI-generated content to be genuine content. And because of this reason, there is a lot of misinformation and deepfakes that are, in fact, becoming very, very influential. And artificial generated content is also leading to trust issues among the people. And along with the trust issues, it also is creating the problems of platform accountability. And in order to resolve all these problems, NITI has come up with a plan wherein the individuals who are generating AI content, they should in fact label their own content. And if it is in visual medium or video, then 10% of the visual photograph or the video should in fact specify that the content is AI generated. And if an AI generated audio content is generated, in the first 10% part of the AI generated audio content, there should be a clear-cut warning that this content is AI generated. And along with that, if the individual fails to, in fact, designate his own content, that is self-designate the content, then the significant social media intermediaries, they should develop tools in order to warn its audience with respect to which content is AI generated and which is not. This is the regulation which is being planned by amending the IT Amendment Rules of 2021, that is IT Intermediary Guidelines Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021. They are going to be amended in order to create this kind of distinction. And this is a much awaited reform, primarily because already Western nations like USA and China also have some regulations in order to regulate the artificial intelligence generated content, primarily because we are being flooded with a lot of information, of which a lot of which is in fact morphed or deepfaked, or sometimes it might be in fact altered in order to generate some kind of negative perception towards people. So definitely, if there is a labeling, then the people would be better warned. The Ministry of Home Affairs, in its discussions with the protesting bodies in Ladakh like Leh Apex Body and Kargil Democratic Alliance, has made a unique proposal. As we know very well that in Ladakh region, the popular protests demanded either 6th schedule or statehood for the province of Ladakh. As we know very well that under Article 370, Ladakh earlier enjoyed a lot many privileges. But now, because of removal of Article 370, suddenly there is a lot of influx of outsiders, and the local people feel that their democratic rights are not being respected. Now, the central government under Ministry of Home Affairs has proposed that Ladakh can be accommodated under Article 371. As we know very well that Article 371 is an article which provides special provisions to various states and regions within the states in order to safeguard their autonomy and rights. In fact, Article 371 forms the bedrock for the differential federalism which is present in India, which can also be called as asymmetric federalism. Now, if any provision is made in Article 371 in order to protect the locals from the outsiders, provide them some employment guarantees, provide them some cultural rights, then automatically the problems of the people of Ladakh are going to, in fact, get resolved. Rather than a complete statehood or 6th schedule, primarily because 6th schedule is primarily meant for the northeast states. And Ladakh is too much of an important province for us to give complete statehood to the region. That is the reason why a via media solution of Article 371 is going to work for the province of Ladakh. Lokpal is, in fact, again in controversy. This time primarily because of a tender which appeared in the newspapers, raising numerous questions on the integrity of Lokpal. The tender calls for 7 BMW Series 3 cars for the chairperson and the 6 members who are present in Lokpal. In fact, the cumulative budget of this tender is roughly 5 crore rupees. And if you observe, this 5 crore rupees is 10% of the annual budget of Lokpal. And if the members of Lokpal and chairman, if they start demanding these kind of perks and benefits of luxury vehicles, then automatically most of the funds are going to allocated for the office work, rather than being used for the sake of resolving the pending petitions which are present in Lokpal. If the member and chairperson in an anti-corruption body itself starts resorting to these kind of luxurious practices, then definitely people will raise questions on the integrity of the institution. And along with this, one more important thing that we need to remember is Lokpal as an agency from past many months has shown clear-cut case of pendency of cases. It is not able to resolve the cases which are in fact being appealed to Lokpal, and at the same time this tender raises numerous important issues on institutional integrity. One more important thing is these people, they are raising a tender for foreign luxury cars. When the Indian government is making a pitch for Make in India, they are in fact ordering cars which are run on gasoline, that is either petroleum or diesel, when India is trying to transition to green energy. This also raises some important issues with respect to what the government agency should procure. And it raises questions on credibility and trust of the institution, usage of public funds, and it also sets a very wrong precedent for all other institutions which are present in the country. And there will also be questions on transparency and accountability, and because of which reason the Lokpal as an agency should not have resorted to that practice, and an agency which was meant to fight corruption should not itself involve in these kind of practices. We cannot call it as corrupt practice, but definitely it can be called as a practice which is not according to the expected norms in society. Thank you.